honored to be here with you today. I'll give you my quick background, my Dun and Bradstreet, if you will. Born and raised in Maryland, about 15 minutes outside of Washington, D.C. Went to school here. Went to two colleges, in fact, University of Maryland and a college called Bowie State University. I received my degree in PR, public relations, never got a job in that degree. Don't judge me. I played the resume game. I've been working at this mall for extra money all the way through college, retail, like a lot of people. But my experience working at the mall outweighed my degree. The mall offered me $40,000 a year to manage his men's and women's clothing store after college. Well, my college degree and all the interviews I went on, I was offered $24,000 a year. So I couldn't afford to take a pay cut just to say I had a job in my degree. So there I was working 60 to 80 hours a week. If you ever worked retail, especially in the management capacity, you know my hours. When people called in sick, I had to go in. The weekends were the most important times in retail. So I was there every Saturday and Sunday. And so in my 20s, I started realizing, hold on, I'm missing out on everything that happens in my personal life on the weekend. My kids' sporting events, birthday parties, family reunions, church. And I just said to myself, there's no way I'm going to do this for the rest of my life, because back then, I'm gonna age myself right now, retirement was 55. And when you're in your 20s, 50s are old. Now I'm 52 now, it's not old anymore, right? It's just halftime, it's coming out the locker room, third quarter. You can tell I just came from a football game. But anyway, my point is, today I get an opportunity to share with you how I was able to go from quitting my job at the age of 25, going on a downward spiral financially for about 3 years. My wife was working to support me as I was trying different entrepreneurial ventures. But at 28, it all turned around because of the project I'll share with you all today. And 1 year later, my wife was able to walk away from her job, and we've been stay-at-home parents now for the past 22 years. So I'm honored to be able to share with you this information. I'm going to share my slides here real quickly, and we'll get started. So that's my family. I was just bragging about a little bit. My wife and I have 4 amazing young adults. 2 are still in college, so we're semi-empty nesters. My daughter's the farthest away from us. She's in an Atlanta, Georgia area, a college called Spelman. So she's the farthest away, but our kids have known us to be stay-at-home parents for over 20 years. So we've traveled the world with them. We've been able to give away more in missions and ministries, more than we used to make. But our most, I think, gratifying thing is not our family's success, but all the people we've been able to help. As you see there in our stats, my wife and I were blessed to help 40 people to earn 6 figures a year before we turned 40 years old. And so it felt like a person a year. In all my life, I've helped to earn 6 figures because of the project I'll share with you all today. So if you're ready, let's get started here. So listen, there's 3 forms of income. The first is linear income. That means you trade your time for money. That's like my dentist gets paid that way. I got paid that way at the mall. You know, it's when you go to work, you get paid. You don't go to work, you don't get paid. It's linear. Leveraged income means that you can earn income even when you're not working. It's a collaboration. You know about collabs, right? It means that you don't do all the work. For an example, I have a partner of mine who is in real estate. Well, he's a real estate broker. So when he has an agent who sells the home, he and I can be in Italy together. He's still earning income based on the work the agent done. So it's a collaboration, a partnership. And so we earn that type of income with this project. We'll talk about that. And then residual income. I have another buddy of mine. He writes music for gospel artists. Well, even though that song he wrote a long time ago still plays, he only wrote it one time, but he's still getting paid over and over. It's called royalties in the music and film industry. Here we call it residual income. We get paid that way too. We'll talk about that. The company that we're a part of has been around for 50 years. We partnered with it because it's solid, right? You don't have to worry about it being here today, gone tomorrow. People are tired of get rich quick. They're looking for something they can build one time and continue to get paid over and over. We'll talk about that. We protect and empower approximately 4.4 million people right now across the United States and Canada. Listen, I don't care what networking event you go to. If you go to any business networking event and you meet a business owner, an entrepreneur, and you say, look, how many customers do you have right now or clients? And they say 4,000. You've got to be impressed. If they said 40,000, it's going to blow you out of the water. If they say 400,000, you're going to say, wow, you're doing really well. 4.4 million is what we have. Our vision is to provide equal access to the liberty, equality, opportunity, and justice that all of us deserve. And we've been written up in all types of third-party sources. Now, we're part of this space called disruptive innovation. You've heard of it before. If not, these examples will help you to understand how you can take an existing model and you make it simpler, easier, and more affordable. You remember shopping at the mall where Amazon disrupted the retail space, right? Watching movies. You remember companies like Blockbuster. You had to go out of the house and rent a movie. Well, Netflix, Amazon Prime, Hulu all disrupted that space. Airbnb is doing it to the accommodations industry, Uber and Lyft, the transportation industry. So that's all called disruptive innovation. Well, what about gaining access to the justice system? Unfortunately, no one's had access to it except the wealthy of the wealthy, because at $300 an hour for a lawyer, who can gain access to that when the average person doesn't even make $30 an hour at their job? So it's been a justice system we've been priced out of, a country club we've never had a membership to until today. Well, I should say for the last 50 years, we've been leveling the legal playing field with a service called Legalshield. Instead of the $300 an hour for a lawyer, we simply have marked it down and made $1 a day. Now, listen, most of the time when you're marketing something, you buy it wholesale, you sell it retail. So you mark it up and the difference is profit. We found a way with this model, that's why it's disruptive, to take a $300 an hour product, mark it down to $1 a day. Unheard of. And it's done because of shared economy, right? Over 1 million people paying $1 a day is how we can afford these lawyers who have an average of 22 years of experience if you're taking notes. So first of all, to be able to pick up the phone, schedule time, talk to your lawyer, get that advice, hang up, and there's no bill. To get personal legal advice on an unlimited number of personal issues is huge. Happened to me. Had a situation with my truck. The dealership didn't do what I thought they should do, so I simply called my lawyer. They asked me a bunch of questions. I answered. They called me back. They said, Mr. Self, here's what we found out. Based on the state in which you bought your truck, your make and model, the issue you're having, and how long you've had the truck, if they keep it for 3 more days in that state with that make and model, with that issue, it falls under the lemon law. They have to give you a new truck. Happened when I bought a custom sofa. There's a little rip at the bottom, but I didn't notice it until later on that week. Called the furniture company like anybody would and said, sorry, sir, not our policy. You already signed off on the delivery that it looked good. We don't know if you did it or not. And I get that, but I didn't. This didn't feel right. So I called Legalshield. They said, look, there's 3 types of consumer warranties in your state. This one's going to fall under, and they name some code. We can make a phone call for you. Look, the lawyers, if they deem it necessary, will write a letter or make a phone call on your behalf. One phone call for my lawyer, that same furniture company says nothing we can do. Even the supervisor said it was nothing we could do. Called me back and said, Mr. Self, first of all, we want to apologize. Secondarily, we're going to send someone out to see if we can repair that sofa. If not, we'll replace it. I'm thinking, you just told me it was nothing you can do. I didn't say that. But again, it's the power. This is what I'm saying, guys. It's not about bad people doing worse things. These are life events plans. I can't imagine not having this. Everybody needs this because people are tired of being treated unfairly, taken advantage of, overcharged for repairs. And if you got kids like I do who are driving, huge. Kids who are away at college like I do, huge. Just to have that peace of mind. So to write letters, make phone calls, review contracts up to 15 pages. That saved me over $10,000 because of an HOA dispute I was having, homeowners association dispute. Because my lawyers understood the fine print in the document, I didn't. It's huge. Life events, wills, living will, healthcare power of attorney, financial power of attorney. My mom and dad didn't even have a last will and testament. Until I joined this company, I was able to provide that for them all for $1 a day. This is huge. Most folks don't have it. Everyone needs it. And we get an opportunity to afford them this peace of mind. Whoever you love and care about most should at least know that this exists. Whether they buy it or not, it's up to them, but they should know it exists. That's up to us as a responsibility. That's why I think we've had so much success, because I feel like it's an obligation, a responsibility for me to share. It's not like I'm sharing something they can go to Target or Walmart or some other retailer and get. They have to come to us or go spend $300 an hour. Traffic ticket assistance, moving traffic violations, help my oldest son keep the points off his license. He used to have a really heavy foot, not so much anymore, thankfully. But we kept the points off of his license because he had access to lawyers who gave the advice or was able to represent us in court. Civil trial defense, if you're named in a lawsuit, we have a scheduled number of hours that increases every year, 5th year, 300 hours. I've never used all of that, but I'd rather have it and not need it than to need it and not have it. Tax audit assistance. Look, all I'm saying is you don't have access to just a lawyer, but law firms, because every lawyer doesn't know every area of law. Every lawyer doesn't know every area of law, like every doctor doesn't know every area of medicine. So I have friends who are great lawyers, but they even have the service because they don't know every area of law. Or if their child is away at college, they're not licensed to practice law in that state. They can't help out. Like my daughter, she calls me from Atlanta. It's like, Dad, I'm in trouble. Well, she's being questioned, detained, or arrested, or asked to step out the vehicle. She doesn't have a right to say, I'm gonna call my dad or my pastor or get upset and argue back and forth with law enforcement. That doesn't turn out well, but she does have a right to say, I like to exercise my Miranda and talk to my lawyer if I'm being questioned, detained, or arrested in a polite way. My kids, my wife, my parents, they all know that script. Guys, it's peace of mind. 24 hours a day, 7 days a week in emergency situations, including holidays, doesn't matter. That's why this is so powerful. Family Domestic Services is the only one that's a 90-day waiting period for uncontested divorce, adoption, separation, and name change. And anything that falls outside of that falls under your discount, even pre-existing conditions. So imagine having an issue right now thinking, man, I could have used this a year ago. Still call and get the advice. If they need to do anything further, you still get a discount. Try to find a lawyer on discount anywhere. You have it here. Guys, for $1 a day, you've got to see that this makes sense. We also have a business plan, by the way. Get back with the person who invited you to check this out. If you own a business like I do, you want to make sure you protect that business as well. Who's covered? The entire family, as you can see, even kids up to the age of 26 living at home, never married, who are dependents of yours. This is huge, right? Added my kids to my auto insurance policy. It kept going up. Here, all under one plan for one monthly fee. That's why this is so powerful. Identity theft. Fastest growing crime in the world. It's a scary crime because most folks don't even know they've been a victim. Like there's some 8-year-olds who don't even know they've been a victim until they go to rent their first off-campus apartment in college. And they're like, well, you already own 2 apartments or rent 2 apartments, right? So we have Legalshield, access to lawyers, ID Shield to help us with the peace of mind for the #1 crime in the world, identity theft. So we're going to monitor everything that matters. We give you access to your credit score. We monitor all 3 credit repositories or credit bureaus, one bureau if you're in Canada, social security number or social insurance number if you're in Canada. So slight difference in vernacular, but pretty much the same thing, right? So we monitor everything that matters, even help you out with privacy and reputation management online. But when you receive that alert, you want to press your ID Shield support button because you're going to be assigned to a licensed investigator, a licensed private investigator who would do whatever it takes for as long as it takes to restore your identity back to pre-theft status. Happened to my daughter. She pressed a button and we talked to, she put on speakers because I was there. She was so nervous because she was a victim of identity theft. And they just told her exactly what to do. Her identity was restored back to pre-theft status within 72 hours. And again, it was peace of mind for me. It's not if this happens, guys, it's just when. And again, some of us have already been victims and didn't know what to do about it. We also have ID Shield for Business. Protect that brand that you built up with sweat and equity, right? So you want to make sure you have that. We also have Trim Michael Maximum Security, which we help you out with malware infections. We also help safeguard you and protect you when you're using a public Wi-Fi, like you're at a coffee shop, or maybe you're at the airport, or maybe at a hotel. We help to filter and block malicious websites. We help you out with a password manager, so you can create those tough to hack passwords instead of the easy ones and using the same one for every site because we can't remember them. Pointing out myself, until you use this password manager, you're going to say, wow, this was sent from heaven. Okay. Credit counseling and education. You have to have both the identity theft plan and the legal plan. And we're going to have specialists to give you one-on-one education and provide information to help you understand how to have a valuable credit score and how to keep it healthy. This is critical. Like if you believe in wealth building, maybe you're buying an investment property, wouldn't it be nice to have the best credit score so you can get the lowest interest rate? It'd be nice to get that counseling 101 for that. We provide that, guys. So that's huge. We were ranked #1 by Forbes magazine. So again, you can listen to the guy who worked at the mall, but it's great to have third-party sources. All of last year, taking a look at all the different identity theft products that are out there, we were ranked #1. That should say something to you right there. Who's covered? We have an individual plan for those who are not married, don't have any dependents, and then a family plan for only $34.95. And then we have access to something called member perks to help you for those who are saying, I have a budget. You know what I mean? I just got to figure this out. No, you don't. We're going to actually help you to save more money than the legal plan and the identity theft plans. Look, Adidas, Budget, Costco, Verizon. This is just about 20, but we have 400 vendors that give us a discount. Bought my daughter a new car through the buying program here, auto buying program, saved $2,300 on her Jeep Wrangler. Rent cars all the time, I save money. Renewed my Costco's membership, save money. Bought a refrigerator from Best Buy, save money. So again, if you like me, it's not how much money you make, but how much money you keep. So you want to make sure you have access to this. Listen, guys, that's what we do. We let people know this exists. And this is what I've been doing for 24 years of my life, full time, other than investments. But this is where our income comes from. Over 90% of it is residual and passive income. That means before my feet are blessed to hit the ground in the morning when I wake up, there's money already hitting my account. That's what I want for each and every one of you. And the only reason I didn't have it before is no one taught me. My mother said, if you know better, you ought to do better. I just didn't know better. But now you know. Someone invites you to check out this webinar. You don't have to stop what you're doing. And I'm going to introduce you to a gentleman. I'm going to stop sharing my screen here. I'm going to introduce you to a gentleman who has mentored me, who's coached me. Our friendship has developed into family. But not only has he helped me, he's got a track record, guys. One of the most sought after coaches in our entire space, our industry, because of the amount of people that he's helped to succeed. So I know he's traveling right now in a hotel room. I'll be with him tomorrow doing a corporate event, but we look forward to seeing you tomorrow, sir. Thank you for jumping on and sharing with folks how they can actually earn income with the services we just talked about. Mr. Brian Carruthers, over to you, sir.
Let me just ask you guys a quick question. Do you think that there's something going on here to have over 550 people on a webinar on a Friday night? These are not just 550 people that have nothing better to do. They're here for a reason. And the question I want to ask everybody is, where we are in our lives today is a result of the decisions that we've each made over the last 5 years. Our health and fitness, our bank account. And speaking of bank accounts, I'm going to ask you a question that may be a little tough, but it needs to be asked. How is your bank account right now? Because inflation, the recession that's teetering on, getting even worse. The stock market's down. If you've invested in crypto, it's down. I mean, everything is working against the average American. And so as we talk about bank accounts, it's my opportunity now to share with you how you can find a way to change that. Let me share with you my quick story. I was 28 years old. I was in my real estate career. Like Darnell said, I was making six figures already. By the time I was 25, I was already making six figures, but I know what it's like to work 7 days a week. I call it 8 to faint. Like out the door in the morning and coming home late at night when I was done proposing, contracts and working out deals and putting out fires. And I know what it's like to tell my friends and family I don't have time for them because I had to take a call or run an appointment. So I know that life. But at age 28, a fellow real estate agent told me about this opportunity. I saw the value in the Legalshield membership. I got it on the spot. And when I learned about what I'm going to share with you right now, the financial opportunity that's attached to it. And I want you to understand what I just said. This is a standalone product. I would have bought this membership. I would have bought the legal plan, even if there was no business opportunity attached to it. But the fact that there was an opportunity attached to it, and they showed me the money, and he put me on the phone with some people who had already been in the business for several years. And not only did they get paid a lot of money up front when they were out marketing and signing people up for these services, but they were getting paid month after month, year after year, years later for a one-time 5-minute conversation. And folks, I couldn't unhear that. And I'm going to tell you, you're never going to be able to unhear what I just told you. It's either going to serve you or it's going to haunt you for the rest of your life. So here's what happened. I got involved with the business part-time. My first year, I made $248,000. In my first 2.5 years, made my first $1 million in this business. What's amazing now is the team that we've been able to pull together and teach them how to do what I learned to do in this business. The team's been paid over $500 million collectively in their pockets. So let me walk you through what you see on the screen here. We get paid, Darnell mentioned the 3 forms of income. Linear income, getting paid on what you do. On the screen here, it's called the personal income. Every single time you tell somebody about these services, when they sign up, right on your website, it takes them 3 minutes to do it. The company's going to wire you a commission into your bank account the following day. We get paid daily. Now, when Darnell and I first got involved in the business years ago, we got paid. There was a monthly check, and then we got real excited. They started paying us weekly, every Thursday. And then they started paying us twice a week, Monday and Thursday. And then they started paying us 5 days a week. Now it's literally Saturday and Sunday. You still wake up and go check your bank account and see what the deposit was. We smile 7 days a week now, not just 5 or not just 2. But So here's this compensation example you see on the screen is based on somebody buying the legal plan for $29.95 and the family ID shield for $34.95. That's $64.90. Now, if they buy less, you get paid proportionally. If they're an individual, it costs less, or if they just get one plan. So as an associate, you're getting paid a $70 commission on a $64 sale. That's your minimum. You're getting paid more money than you even collected from the customer. You didn't collect it. They send it on the website, but you know what I'm saying. But then as you sign more people up, they start increasing what you're going to get paid. And that goes from $70 to $90 to $120 to $160, all the way up to $370. So real simple. You tell somebody about these services, or frankly, you don't have to tell them about it. You just kind of start the conversation, and then you point them to a video to watch or a website to read, and then they go sign up. You made anywhere from $70 up to $370 the next day. The question I have, would your bank account be smiling if you went out and marketed a couple of these a week? How would you like to be able to make an extra $1,000 a month, $2,000 a month, just going out and marketing one or two of these a week? Cover a house note, cover a car note, put your kid in a better school. Now, the second form of income that Darnell talked about, which is the leveraged income, getting paid on other people's efforts, OPE, other people's efforts. Would you rather be a real estate agent and only get paid on the houses you sell? Or would you rather be the real estate broker, recruit a bunch of agents to work for you, and every time they sell a house, they get paid a commission, but you get a little piece. But a lot of little pieces adds up to be a big chunk. Now, I want you to pay attention to what I just said. Most people don't ever unpack what I just said. The agent sells a house. They get a commission, and the broker gets a little piece. The broker takes a little piece. Here in Legalshield, you go introduce this opportunity to other people. They come on board the team. Every time they market a membership, they get paid the full commission, just like you do, $70 all the way up to $370. But in addition to them getting paid their full commission, Legalshield is going to pay you an additional override. They've got money set aside to pay you a broker type override. And that's that team override you see in the right-hand column. Starts off at $20. And then those are cumulative, by the way. See the plus signs? So it's 20, 50, 90, 100, 150, all the way up to $300. So let me give you a couple examples. Let's say you are a manager and you show me this information. I go watch a 20-minute video. I really like what I see. I go on your website. I sign up. Okay. Well, guess what? I'm an associate. You're a manager. You got $120 when I bought the membership from you, but I'm now also an associate on your team because I want to go out and tell the world about this. I want to start making some money. Well, guess what? Every time I sign up a customer, I make $70. You, the manager, you earn the $20 senior associate override and the $30 manager override. You're making $50 every time I submit an application. I sign up 10 times 50 is what? That's right, 500. What do you want to do? You want to pull out a postcard and say, what? Go, Brian, go. I mean, let me give you another example. Let's say you've been in the business for several months. You started to build up a customer base, and now you're a director. You're making $220 when you go sign somebody up. So let's say you come show me the information. I'm not on board yet. I come on board. You got $220 when I sign up as a customer, but I'm also an associate now. Every time I sign somebody up, I'm making $70. You're making the 20 plus 30 plus 40 plus 60. You're making $150 every time I sign up a customer. I go out and sign up 10 people. You made $1,500. How many Brians do you want on your team? It's unlimited how many customers you can go sign up, and it's unlimited to the size of the team that you can go build. Now, let me also share this with you guys. When I got started up in this business, there was a $249 startup fee to get everything set up, to get registered, to get my website turned on, to be able to get the training access. Everything I needed was provided. Like I said, let me go back to my story. I made a $248,000 profit from this business that I started part-time on the side from my 60-hour-a-week real estate career. So anybody who says, well, I'm just too busy to start something else, don't let your reason to do this be your excuse not to do this. If you're really, 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 really busy, then you need to get past the residual income coming in so you can stop being so busy. Because not only are you getting paid when you sign people up in Legalshield, that takes a little bit of your time. You're getting paid when other people are signing people up. That takes none of your time. But here's the kicker. That's the upfront money. On top of that, we have what Darnell talked about, residual income. Every time you or somebody in your team signs up a customer, you're getting paid that commission up front, but you're also going to get paid a year, 3 years, 5 years, 10 years, 20 years, 30 years, month after month, year after year, for the lifetime of every one of those memberships. You're getting paid monthly residual income. Let me take you back in time. Many years ago, when I first learned about this, like I said, the guy who showed this to me, he actually introduced me to a few people who had been doing this for years, and they were a testament to it. They told me that they were making residual income, thousands a month, from what people they had signed up several years before. Now I make more money per month residually than I used to make in my full-time year in real estate. It comes in whether I work or not. It comes in whether we or anybody on my team ever signs up a new customer or not. That's the power, upfront and residual income. Now, the $249 fee I paid when I first got started, Darnell, I don't know if there's another slide that follows this, but it's a $99 fee instead of $249. Better opportunity, better services, better everything. Okay, but it's only $99 now because of the technology and the onboarding process to bring a new associate on board and get them all set up is a lot more streamlined now. But here's the thing: don't allow yourself to discount the magnitude of how big this opportunity can be for you, because it's only $100 to get started. I've had people say, "Oh, yeah, you can't make any real money in a business that costs you a $100 bill." Oh, yeah. Guess what? I've made tens of millions of dollars in a business that cost me $249, which is the same opportunity that's now $99. So I want you all to think about that. You start when you want, you work it when you want, you work it from anywhere. And here's what's great about this: God forbid something happens to me if I'm a real estate agent, or if I had a job. What would happen to my wife and my 3 boys if something happened to me? What would happen to my income? It would go away when I go away. Well, the beauty of building a residual book of business with Legalshield, you can will this business to your heirs. My wife and boys, they'll inherit that book of business. We will teach you, by the way, word for word, step by step, exactly what to do, what to say, how to find people to show this to. We'll share with you exactly how to do it. And I actually was listening to an amazing speaker when I was actually speaking at an event in Las Vegas a few years ago. Lou Holtz, one of the winningest football coaches of all time. And one of the things that he said on stage that will forever stick with me, he said, the most valuable thing you're ever going to find in your lifetime is a mentor. And my question is, who is your mentor? Because that's the only way you really get ahead faster in life, is by finding somebody who's already gotten ahead, has already accomplished what you want to accomplish, and is willing to help you. People say, oh, my mom or my dad. No, those are your parents. I'm talking about a mentor, somebody who's achieved massive success in something that you're pursuing. So if you want to start a business, get involved in a business with other people who started up just like you at the bottom and work their way up, and they can teach you and show you exactly how they did it. Boom, that's what you want. That's what you get when you walk into the doors of this business. So like I said, $99 and $25 a month is all it costs. Here's what's crazy, Darnell. When I go to I just did my taxes yesterday because I do double extensions because I've got all these investments now. I got to get all these K1 documents and so forth. So I just finished my taxes literally on Wednesday, and my accountant, we always giggle about it. We're always trying to find what else can we write off? What else can we write off? What else can we write off? Because my true fixed cost of running this business is $24.95 a month. That runs the entire technology package, the website, the CRM, everything that we need. That's what's amazing about this. And look, at the end of the day, the questions you got to ask yourself: do these services make sense? Do you see that everybody in North America deserves access to the legal system? And do you see that $29.95 a month is way better than $300 to $400 an hour? Use the service one time, get your will done. It pays for the membership for the next 3.5 years in value right there alone. It's easy to give away this value, sharing it with people. How about protecting your very privacy and identity? It's of utmost importance that every single person that you know and care about hears about this. So I felt when I signed up, I felt it was my moral obligation to go out there and share it with everybody I cared about, which is why I paid the registration fee to become an associate, so that when I did it, somebody's going to get paid. Why don't I be the one that gets paid these commissions and residual income on it? So I just want to encourage you to get back to the person who invited you to listen into this webinar tonight. on Friday night, I just want to commend you for leaning into your future. That's what you're doing. You invested a half an hour to learn about a project. Is it for you or not? I don't know. But you invested the time to find out and you now get to make an informed, educated decision about whether or not this is the vehicle that can change your financial picture. Keep doing what you're doing. You'll keep getting what you're getting. If your job or current income stream is putting you in a position that you're not comfortable in, if you're not building your net worth, your wealth, if your wealth is not growing month over month, year over year, then I would encourage you to follow the advice of one of my favorite mentors I ever had before he passed away, Jim Rohn. He said, you work hard all day at your job to earn a living, but you should be working spare time, nights or weekends, building your fortune.